So this is loaded with HP68s, and I haven't shot it since the last video I did. So let me just show you the HP68s. So the Grimburg mag is more suited for shaped projectiles. I wouldn't recommend using this for round ball, and it's really well for the HP68. So when you load it, the last one, which is 12 rounds, it's going to be hard to stuff. But this would be the magazine you would use to shoot HP68 on this. Now, I wouldn't do full auto with this, but we're going to test it out on just single firing. Projectile fell out. So I don't have this sighted too well, but let's see. Safety off. I am at, that's 60 right there, so I'm about 70 right here. And I'm aiming for the chest cavity. All right. So now I'm gonna load it with the jewel rounds. Well, actually, I'm not gonna even fire it with the jewel rounds. I'm gonna load it with the burner plastic rounds to do full. All right, so I shot the HP68 about 75 feet. At that distance, you do not want to have the velocity set at 280 because you could see the projectiles kind of descend. I would say you would want more higher velocity at that distance, but in most home defense situations, you're not going to shoot that far. Home defense, you're going to shoot up close pretty much. So it's fine to use it at 280 FPS, but if you plan on shooting it from a further distance, it's not going to work. So I have here loaded the Burner HD projectiles. These are the 3-gram practice rounds, kinetic rounds, and let's see how it does. Now I am running low on PSI. I still got about 1200 PSI left, and that was just shooting at 280 feet per second, 12 rounds. This was full before. Well, it's not exactly at 3000. It was just under. It was just above 2600 PSI. So let me shoot this projectiles. Let's see how it does. Holy shit. Let me step back because it's gonna bounce. The rounds are actually cracking when the bolt is hitting it. Yeah, so I ran out of air. Yep. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. All right. All right, so I raised the velocity on this, and I try to put a first strike breach in here, basically the kill house breach, and it was a pain in the ass to get the O-ring in, and I don't know if it's you're supposed to install the O-ring. So, and also this was sliding when I put the kill house one in. So I took the kill house breach out and I put the stock one back in, and I'm gonna test it shooting jewel projectiles. It's shooting 280 right now. So at 280, It probably shot the first couple of rounds at 280-ish, and then the rest was probably like 270, 260, 250. But you can see, you could change the velocity on here. Let's go take a look. So these holes, I don't think it's this one, but this one is fresh. This is fresh. This, I believe, is fresh. But it did penetrate this wood. And I was standing about, I would say, almost 20 feet. So this is shooting 28 joules, roughly, give or take, maybe 25, 28. But yeah, it is possible to raise the velocity on the TPR. So I wanted to point out that this block right here is actually where you would raise the velocity. That little cap is what you would take with pliers and you would tighten it to make the velocity go up. Now, if this is your only launcher, I would not do that if you're going to use it for pepper ball to raise the velocity. You can use the Mission TPR hard projectiles, which is about 4 grams in weight, versus the jewel rounds, which is essentially 8 grams. So no need to do that unless you want to shoot jewel projectiles and you want to have that kind of power. You're going to get 10 shots with a mag like this, and it could do a lot of harm to someone, you know. But again, if you're planning on taking this apart and raising the velocity, you're going to do that at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just showing you that I was able to do that. And it didn't take much time. I was take these screws out, pop it open, pull it out, tighten it down a little. And basically how I started it was I tightened it all the way down and opened it 3.5 turns. And I had to take it apart again after I put it back together because it was shooting too hard. And then I readjusted it. So I would say roughly 3.5 to 3.25.